Hello and welcome to our today's webinar. In today's webinar, we will talk about the newest developments of our grinding portfolio. In focus is the new universal grinding machine, the UG. My name is Emily Thiere and I'm working at the EMAG at the quotation department. I will be guiding you through this webinar today. You have the possibility to use during the webinar our chat and Q&A function to ask us your questions in real time. Many people know the EMAG as a re-owned manufacturer of production machinery for the high volume machining, particularly in the areas of turning, grinding, and gear cutting. With the new universal grinding machine, the UG, the EMAG expands its portfolio in the so-called classic line. The classic line stands for proven technology, high efficiency, and an attractive price performance. The details about the classic line and the UG machine will be told from Mr. Yannick Röttger, the head of technology in the EMAG.
Thank you very much for this introduction. Welcome to this webinar. Very happy to have your attention in the next 45 minutes to present two new innovations from the EMAG. Firstly, of course, the main focus will be on the UG universal grinding machine, but I also like to introduce the new EMAG Classic line, where the universal grinding machine is the newest member of to you. First, short overview about the machine. We are here besides the UG 400, means universal grinding machine with a width between centers of 400 millimeter. The table machine, the workpiece in this case, fixed between centers, and you see a B-axis with two OD grinding spindles for angular plunge cuts. So in this application, we are able to machine left and right-hand side OD diameters, including the shoulders to the gear profile. On one side, the machine is even equipped with the in-process measurement. On the other side, on the application, you see two plunge cuts to machine the diameter, which is wider than the width of the grinding tool, and an additional polishing stroke to generate a homogeneous surface. As already mentioned, the EMAG UG is part of our new Classic line. The Classic line is a new concept which will be available in the future between our two existing product lines, our customized machine for high volume production according to customer specifications, and besides our existing modular standard line, a standardized machine line with a lot of possibilities for individualization of the equipment of the machines with a very, very good price ratio. And now the Classic line is the step into the field of standard machines with even better pricing, with less possibilities to do customization, but very robust machines for many, many flexible applications all around the world. Four pillars create the main idea of the Classic line. First, we start with a robust base machine made within the EMAG worldwide production network. This consists of our production plant in Germany, our EMAG production plant in Jintan in China, and consists of a few exclusive partners all around the world who build components of the machines, groups of components according to the EMAG specifications with very high quality standards. We combine this machine with well-proven components from the well-known suppliers that you already know from our product machines, like the vertical combined machines for turning and grinding, or our high productive grinding machines. This is already a package which also includes the global customer support, where the EMAG is famous for. We have technicians all around the world. Spare parts will be available everywhere in short time. The machine will also benefit from all the process technology that was gained in the EMAG group in the last decades of years, especially from customers in the automotive industry, where it was EMAG's job to do optimization of manufacturing processes to ensure lowest cycle times, very high quality, and to guarantee a very high value of overall equipment efficiency. On request, these machines can also be combined with workpiece handling, loading with automation, and of course the customer can get a full package including NC program, dressing tools, grinding tools, coolant supply, and of course the necessary clamping fixtures. This whole package can be discussed and be designed by EMAG according to the customer requirements. Not only the universal grinding machine EMAG UG is part of the classic line, we have also already 3 additional models, 3 additional turning machines, which are part of the classic line and which contributes to the same concept of machine line. This is the HSC1, a CNC turn mill center with counter spindle. You load the parts through the main spindle, do the operation 10 with the turning turret, then you hand over the part from the main spindle to the counter spindle and can do in the same machine the machining of OP20. MSC5 Duro, the second machine of the classic line, similar concept, 1 machine, 1 control with 2 machining rooms where we can work on 2 spindles, 2 times OP10 or alternate between OP10 and OP20. So also a machine for very high efficiency, especially for the machining of soft parts in automotive industry, in truck business, wherever they occur. The USC 850 is the biggest representative of the classic line. It is a horizontal grinding machine dedicated to large work pieces and to very high loads in the machining process, especially during the roughing, where we have to perform a very high material removal. This machine is designed to guarantee very much torque, so low cycle times for the rough machining, and the machine is suitable for work pieces up to 2000 millimeter workpiece length and 600 kilograms workpiece weight. And finally, the machine which will be in the focus of today's event, the UG Universal Grinding Machine. I do not only want to promise you a good customer care after sales, I want to show you some precise numbers. 346 technicians are working in our business unit after sales. They are working all over the world to make sure that the customer gets a very good support with 6 existing EMAG machines. They are available 24 hours a day, 7 days per week, 365 days per year. They will respond within 2 hours to your requests, and within 24 hours, a technician can be in your facility according to the service degree that you request. We have 4 spare parts all over the world to make sure that on any location, the parts will be with very short delivery time without any issues because of customer and tax issues and so on. 32,000 spare parts are available in these warehouses with a volume of 33 billion euro. Many of you know the EMAG grinding portfolio from the machines, which are, I would say, that the most famous representative of the EMAG portfolio, our vertical turning and grinding machines. Starting with the VTC, a machine to produce parts between centers. You can do hard turning, OD grinding in one clamping, which leads to very high quality. With a double gripper on the turning turret, the machine can load itself. So there's always an integrated automation. EMAGLLC is the corresponding machine for chuck parts, where we can do turning and grinding and even integrate other technologies such as honing or power skiving on this machine concept for chuck parts. We can do OD and ID machining and also non-round grinding. Our machine for the high volume production with horizontal grinding machines is the HG cross-slide design to ensure very low cycle times, very high material removal rates due to the very strong grinding spindles. And the machine SN, which is the machine dedicated to non-round parts such as camshaft. We combine this knowledge that we gained in machine design and process technology together with the history of universal grinding machines, such as the W11 CNC, which is the follower machine to the Carsten's K11 machine, which had a very good reputation on the market. All this knowledge, all this experience, we now transfer into our new product, the EMAG UG Universal Grinding Machine. As already mentioned, it's always possible at EMAG to combine this machine with workpiece handling, with post-process measurement according to the requirements. One very frequently built concept is a conveyor belt for raw and finished parts, and an integrated linear gantry loader which brings the parts into the machine. We can have a double gripper system there, where one gripper gets the finished part and the other gripper loads the raw part between centers to achieve very short chip-to-chip times.
To summarize everything important about the classic line, I would suggest that we now start with that. The customer has a benefit from the many years of production from the EMAG, especially in the terms of the precision and the durability of the machines. We also offer to our customers a global and reliable service and support standard. As Mr. Röttger said, it is possible to expand all the machines of the classic line with the perfect automation system. All in all, I would say that a machine from the classic line is a wide-ranging, flexible, universal machine for a low price entry. Now, I would suggest that we take a look into the UG more in detail.
Yeah, we take the chance to have a look on our demonstration model, which is available here in Saarlach. This is the smallest version of UG. UG 400 means maximum width between centers is 400 millimeter. You see the table with linear movement in Z direction on the left-hand side. The main spindle in standard as a belt-driven concept. A part here, for example, a gear shaft that you already saw in the introduction video, clamped between centers and driven by a form driver which fits into the grooves. The machine has a B-axis, fully automatically stepless movement in the rotation axis possible. We have a swiveling measuring probe to define the actual position of the workpiece. We have here a configuration with 2 OD grinding spindles, and on the right-hand side, an internal grinding spindle with a maximum rotational speed of 26,000 revolutions per minute. We can also use other spindle configurations from our portfolio of vertical chuck machines. So any rotational speed that is necessary for your application can be put into this machine. On the right-hand side, we have a hydraulic tailstock with cylinder correction of 80 micron. We have a tailstock stroke of 60 millimeters in standard, and an air pressure lift up to make a easy positioning on the table possible. This machine is also equipped with the in-process measuring gauge, also hydraulic driven, to make sure that we can achieve very, very tight tolerances for the OD. The machine will always come with a FANUC control, FANUC 0i in standard, and an HMI with a dialogue-orientated programming system. Means that we have a graphical interface which helps us to go through the setup process, which helps us to generate the NC cycles, which helps us in the setup process to detect the workpiece positions for straight grinding wheel, for inclined grinding wheel, or for the internal grinding wheel. We can have monitoring tools. For example, the spindle loads of our direct driven motor spindles can be detected and monitored here in the system. So very easy to handle. And of course, this machine is available with the automatic balancing system and the in-process measurement gauge and air gap control. On this slide, you can see the other versions of the UG, starting with UG 400 with 400 millimeter grinding length, then UG 630 millimeters grinding length, or the standard version for universal grinding machine, UG 1000 with 1000 millimeter grinding length, and the biggest one makes it possible to machine workpieces with a width with a length up to 1500 millimeters. After this general overview of our demonstration machine, UG 400, now I'd like to go a bit more in detail and discuss with you the main features which are valid for the whole UG series. We have linear guideways in X and Z axis. We have a gray cast iron machine bed with a very good thermal and dynamic behavior with regard to damping and so on. Glass scales are in all feed axes to ensure the repetition accuracy of this machine. We have servo drives and ball screws for the feed axis. The spindles for OD and ID are direct driven motor spindles with oil air lubrication. And you will find well-known suppliers on this list where we purchase the parts that we also use in our production machines that work 24/7 in serial production. And C control, as already mentioned, comes from Fano. Dressing spindle and internal grinding spindle comes from a very close cooperation with our partner GMN. In-process gauge from Agritech or Marpos is available. And the drives for the feed axis and the spindle in the electric cabinet is from Fano. Encoder and glass scales comes from Heidenhain, and the linear guideways are made by Schneeberg. Now I'd like to give you an overview about the technical data of the UG 1000. UG 1000 stands for a grinding length of 1000 millimeter, means we have a width between the centers of 1000 millimeter, a center height of 175 millimeters. In standard, 225 millimeter are available as an option. The standard spindle power for the OD spindle is 7.5 kilogram, 11 kilowatt as an option. The grinding wheel circumferential speed is maximum 50 meters per second or 63 meters as an option. Depending on the configuration of the grinding spindles and their position on the B-axis, the maximum grinding wheel diameter is 450 millimeters, respectively 500 millimeters, for width between the flange of 63 millimeters. The Z-axis stroke is 1240 millimeters, means you can use the full length width between the centers of 1000 millimeter. You can grind on every position and have then additional 240 millimeter stroke in the Z-axis to reach the dressing position. The Z-axis stroke is maximum 320 millimeter, and we have a B-axis that can swivel from -50 up to 225 degrees with an accuracy of 2 angular seconds. The B-axis, the most important component where the configuration makes your machine suitable for your specifications, for your products that you want to machine on UG. The B-axis is stepless and fully automatic. Swiveling range, as already mentioned, -50 up to 225 degrees with an accuracy of ±2 angular seconds. We have the actual measuring probe on the B-axis and motor spindles with oil-air lubrication for all the grinding speed. Mm-hmm. We can have a wide range of spindle configurations, starting with the version that you saw here on our demonstration machine with 2 OD spindles and 1 ID spindle. We can have a double head spindle where 2 grinding wheels on left and right hand side are fixed on 1 single spindle. This can be combined with an additional internal grinding spindle. You can have 2 grinding spindles on the B-axis. So different possibilities, many things to make the machine suitable to your specifications, to what you want to machine. In standard, we use FANUC 0 ITF Plus controller. In case that we want to perform non-round or thread grinding, where we need a synchronization of the workpiece rotational axis and the feed axis in X or in Z direction, then we need the FANUC 31B Plus controller with a motor spindle as headstock, where we use the similar or the same spindle in our high volume grinding machine for non-round parts in the SN machine. The control itself, the HMI, helps you to create the machine data to perform the non-round grinding cycles for capro shafts, for polygons, whatever you want to do. You do not have to prepare a data table on an external PC. You can do a lot of calculation here on the machine, which gives you a lot flexibility. In general, as already shown here on our machine in Saarlach, the control is based on a dialog HMI. So we have a lot of graphical images to explain the situation, to explain which value you have to type in the setup process to make sure that the operator makes not any mistakes in the process of NC generation or setup of the machine. This is available to find all the contact positions between dressing tool and grinding tool, the contact position between grinding tool and workpiece grinding, for shoulder grinding, and also for the internal grinding processes. So very easy to operate, easy to program, and the risk of mistakes which can lead to a crash is minimized. The standard equipment of this machine consists of a hydraulic tailstock, belt-driven concept, valid for workpiece weight between centers of maximal 120 kilogram, MK4 interface for the center. The tailstock, hydraulic driven for the stroke of 60 millimeters for the center, also MK4, and air pressure lift up to make the positioning or the repositioning on the table as easy as possible. The dressing tool in standard is a stationary dressing plate available in three different positions for inclined grinding wheels. And if you want to dress the internal grinding wheel, we can equip this machine with a swiveling dressing tool where you can dress exactly on the contact position between grinding tool and dressing tool in the same position as it is the contact between dressing tool and workpiece in the process. We have a wide range of additional equipment that is available for the UG to customize this product. I have three examples here for you, starting with an NC tailstock with 200 millimeters torque by means of a ball screw drive. So you can vary the workpiece length up to 200 millimeters, and you do not need to reposition to fix the tailstock on a different position on the table. All this can be done by the stroke of the tailstock. Then, if you use a chuck where you have to bring the part on a grinding arbor or something like this, then you need a lot of space to remove the part and to bring a new part on the arbor, on the clamping arbor. There, the NC tailstock with 200 millimeter stroke is a big benefit. The machine can be equipped with a synchronous tailstock, which ensures the same rotational speed on the tailstock center as it is on the center on the workpiece spindle. For parts between centers in many applications, then it is not necessary to clamp the part with a collet in a chuck, so you do not have changing parts, and you have a very easy solution for big variation of workpiece geometries. Also, for small parts where it is not possible to clamp with a collet with high pressure, this gives a lot of benefits for the application. Both tailstocks, the NC tailstock and the synchronized tailstock, are equipped with MK5 interface and can be used up to a workpiece width between centers of 200 kilograms. Another feature is the dressing spindle for rotary dressing tools, which is mounted on the rear side of the main spindle up to rotational speeds of 15,000 revolutions per minute. It is possible to dress CBN grinding wheels or dressable diamond grinding wheels. So you can also use super abrasive grinding tools in this universal grinding machine.
Thank you for the detailed explanation. In conclusion, we would say that the UG machine is a grinding machine for external and internal cylindrical grinding between the centers or in the chuck. The machine is equipped with a FANUC control system, which is easily programmable by using the dialogue-based menu interface. You have the possibility to adapt the machine with the perfect automation solution. Now we will visualize in a better way how the process is in the machine with different workpieces and different processes.
I hope to give you now some ideas, some images, what you can do with this machine, and I hope that you will find some workpieces that are also relevant for your daily business on the shop floor. We start with an application example on the UG 400, where we machine a car axle for passenger cars in 2 angular plunge cuts with inclined grinding wheels on 1 spindle. The first cut is done with the orange-colored grinding wheel on the left-hand side. We do an angular plunge cut with inclined grinding wheel to machine the diameters 3, 4, and 5 in 1 plunge cut. The geometry of the grinding wheel is profiled according to the tolerances of the 3 individual diameters. We then swivel the B-axis, which is here a double head with a double head spindle. We swivel of about 60 degrees, so this can be done in a very short time. And then we do the second cut, an angular plunge cut, where we machine diameter 1 and diameter 2, including the shoulder and the radius, which is profiled in the dressing process. So we can also machine the shoulder with this angular plunge cut without the risk of grinding burn. So this is the right application for a machine like this. To ensure the tolerances, we have 2 in-process gauges on the table, 1 per grinding wheel. The part is clamped between centers and driven with a face driver, and according to the grinding allowance and the input quality, this process can be realized within 1.5 minutes. We started with the smallest machine of the UG series. Now we switch to the biggest one and have a look at one application example for a truck axle. We start the first plunge cut with a straight grinding wheel to machine the diameter 1. We swivel then the B-axis and do a inclined plunge grinding, angular plunge grinding for the diameters 3 and 4, which also includes the shoulder. And then to get into this bell hub geometry, we use an internal grinding spindle. So then we have the accessibility for the small grinding wheel to the relevant grinding diameter, and can machine the whole axle in one clamping on one machine concept within 4.5 minutes. Mm-hmm. The one that you already saw in the introduction video on our UG400 is the gear shafts, including the shoulders on UG400. Can also be done with a double head spindle to reduce the swiveling times and to reduce the investment costs. We do the first of 2 plunge cuts with the inclined grinding wheel. We then do a second plunge cut because the width of the diameter to be ground with the orange grinding wheel is wider than the width of the grinding wheel. And then we do additional traverse strokes to get a clean surface without the marks between the first and the second plunge cut. We then swivel the grinding wheel and make the last cut with the blue grinding wheel, including OD and shoulder. Part is clamped between centers and driven by a form driver which fits into the groove on the smallest diameter. And this can be done in the cycle time of about 1.5 minutes. Last but not least, also an application where we machine a chuck part on the machine. EMAG has a big department of engineers who focus on clamping tools. We can produce the clamping tools within the EMAG group, but we also work close together with the leading suppliers for collets, for chucks, for clamping arbors, and so on. So we always have the possibility to find the right solution for our customer. And we kindly invite you to contact us with your applications, and then we will find together the right machining concept. And this, of course, includes the solution for the correct clamping concept. Here we see a chuck part in a collet where we machine the external and the internal diameter in one operation, in one clamping. So we do not have any errors because we change the clamping situation. We will have perfect run out between external and internal diameter. And this is essential for many, many applications. For example, in pump industry or hydraulic pumps, something like this. This operation can be carried out within 2 minutes. The UG 1500 machine for the biggest work pieces, which can fit into the UG line, can be equipped with 2 OD spindles to a distribution of the cut. We do a roughing process with a very coarse grinding wheel specification, where we have a sharp grinding wheel topography to remove a lot of material in very short time without grinding burn. And then we bring the second grinding wheel in contact on the same contact position with a finer grinding wheel specification to do the fine and polish grinding step. Of course, and this is valid for all the models of the UG line, we can equip the machine with a full package of measuring technology. For example, automatic grinding wheel balancing tool and a tool for the gap control to reduce the times until you find contact with the workpiece. Also, the external equipment, for example, paper band filter and extraction unit, can be quoted as a complete plug-and-play solution by EMAG.
With all those informations, you had a good insight into our new UG series. We have also a new innovation at the EMAG. It is the PG series. Mr. Röttger will get you now an insight of that.
Yes, it's my pleasure to also take the opportunity to have your attention and give a short outlook about what will be the new product in the EMAG Classic line. It will be the PG series, a series for production grinding of mid and large size batches. Machine will be equipped with a fixed grinding spindle, 0 degrees straight or 30-degree inclined grinding wheel. We have grinding lenses between 400 millimeter and 2000 millimeter. The workpiece, maximum workpiece weight is 600 kilograms for the biggest machine type. We have a center height of 160 millimeter and in standard or 225 millimeter as an option. The grinding spindle power can be 14 or 29 kilograms, and the maximum grinding wheel circumferential speed is 120 meters per second, means that this machine is designed, dedicated for production grinding with CBN, where we can achieve very low cycle times and very, very low tool wear. The maximum grinding wheel diameter, especially if you want to use corundum grinding wheels, is 660 millimeters for grinding wheel width of 145 millimeters. This machine perfectly fits into the gap between our smallest grinding machine that already exists in our portfolio. This is the WPG7 with 250 millimeter width between centers, and our HG machine, which is dedicated for high production grinding with highest spindle power and short cycle times with our cross-slide design. This machine fills out the gap between these two products, means that we now have the right solution for any OD grinding application which occurs in industry. So the main technical features are similar to the UG concept, but here we have a CBN grinding spindle made by EMAG, 120 meters per second possible. We also have linear guideways in X and Z axis on this machine. We have servo drives and ball screw for the feed axis, which are also equipped with glass scale measurement for highest precision. And you will find the same components as you already got to know for the UG series. The machine is same as UG cable machine. So we have a layout which looks like this. The machine is also equipped with the funnel control. And finally, I'd like to present two possible applications on the PG400, smallest representative of the PG line. We can do a turbo shaft grinding, one plunge cut with inclined grinding wheel, where the grinding wheel is profiled in the dressing process according to the different diameter steps. We have a steady rest to support the tiny part to avoid deflections as a result of the grinding forces. And we can achieve cycle time or grinding times about 0.5 minutes for this application. Second possibility for a machine with straight grinding wheel is to use a set of grinding wheels, plunge grinding for the 3 diameters here on a gear shaft for an e-bike with a cycle time of about 1 minute.
Okay. All in all, we would say that the PG series is a production grinding machine for workpieces ranging from 400 millimeters to 2000 millimeters in length. The machine is equipped with CBN motorized spindles, and the machine is designed for medium and large series in production.
So finally, I'd like to give a short summary about all the things that we got to know today. We got to know the EMAG Classic line concept, which is the new product family besides our customized and modular standard machines. The machines of the Classic line are characterized by robust base machines out of the EMAG production network, combined with proven components from well-known supplier or even made by EMAG. We have the global service support, where EMAG is famous for, and we have very attractive technology packages where the customer benefits from all our experience from production grinding in the last decades of years. Of course, turnkey solutions are available, including workpiece handling and automation, measuring technology, and so on. The UG itself is a universal grinding machine, which can be used to machine parts between centers, chuck parts, with a grinding length between 400 and 1500 millimeter. So it covers the full spectrum of application in job shop grinding, in prototype building, in maintenance departments, as well as for small and mid-sized production. The B-axis can be configured according to the customer's requirements. We can have internal grinding spindles, external grinding spindles on any position, and we can equip the machine with some additional features such as dressing spindle, NC tailstock, or synchronized tailstock to individualize the machine according to the products that you want to machine in your daily business. With the use of a motor spindle as C-axis, we can also perform non-round and thread grinding on this machine. And finally, the outlook to the next member of the classic line, this will be the PG series, production grinding machine for any cylindrical grinding application in the field of production with a wide variety of applications has been presented today. I kindly invite you to get in contact with us. We are available for any discussions, how to find the right machine concept for your daily business, to make cycle time calculations together with you for your production parts. And we are always happy to visit you or to welcome you here at Saarlach, that you visit our stock machines here, which are also available for any trials with your workpiece. Discussion is the right keyword, because now we will have a look into the chat function and see if there are already some questions with regard to the content of this webinar.
During the webinar, I saw that there are many questions in our function. So we will start with the first questions. Are the machines also available with Siemens controls?
The machines of the classic line will not be available with Siemens control. Many of the customers knows the Siemens control from our turning or high production grinding machines, where you always usually have also the opportunity to choose between Siemens and Fanuc. The classic line is only equipped with Fanuc control, and it's not possible to change this equipment.
Okay. Next question is, can the machine also machine carbide?
Cemented carbide is also available, machining with diamond grinding wheels, with dressable concepts. With our dressing spindle is no problem. Cemented carbides are a very popular application in the tool industry. And so, of course, this can also be done on this machine.
Can the machine be equipped with a bezel?
Yannick doesn't know what a bezel is.
Ja, ich auch nicht.
Da müssen wir wohl was rausschneiden. Ja. Machen wir weiter.
Okay, next question would be, what requirements must the workpiece headstock meet to enable out-of-round grinding?
For out-of-round grinding, it is very important to have a synchronization between the feed axis and the angular position of the workpiece. So we need a workpiece spindle with a C-axis that we always know the correct angular position of the workpiece, and so we can do the synchronization between these two axes.
Okay. According to the source material, what level of roundness accuracy is achieved on the test piece of the UG machines?
With our UG machines, as we use the well-approved components with regard to bearings and so on, we can achieve roundnesses less than 1 micron.
Okay, I think we finished all the questions from our chat function. If you have further questions you want to ask us, you have always the possibility to get in contact with us. You have also the possibility to visit our booth at the Grinding Hub B30 in Hall 9 to get in contact with us. Thanks for your attention, and I hope to see you soon. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your attention. Thank you very much for the questions in the discussion. And I hope that we will get in contact soon to discuss your detailed questions with regard to the universal grinding machines, but also to any other EMAG machines. Would be very happy to visit you in person here in Saarlach on the Grinding Hub exhibition. Thank you very much.